Hey guys, and welcome to our camper trailer build. You'll notice we're out of the carport, so it must be mobile. Yes, the axle did turn up and I fitted it one morning before I went to work. I was so concerned about my measurements. Luckily the measurements were all spot on and very happy with it. You'll notice that it's underslung. That's how they come traditionally. I'm not sure about the height of it. If I need to lower it at a later date, I can do that and throw the axle on the other side of the spring pack. I do have a broken centre bolt on one of the springs, so that will have to be fixed at some point. Fairly happy with all the measurements of how they've turned out. I need to get some mudguards sorted for this, but I don't need those at the moment, although I do have a pair that I've got my eye on, so I may order those and get those in stock. But yes, it's turned out quite okay. In other news, I've routed out a track all the way along the roof and down the front sections of the sides of the camper to put the roof panels in. The reason I've done that is I don't want to have ugly gaps that I have to hide down the sides. To do that was as simple as setting my side guide on my router. I've gone in about 5 mils with a 6 mil bit and just running it along the top of the camper sides. Worked out quite well. What I've then done is sand all these down, because these will be the finished product, and I have coated the sides in, and the tracks more importantly, in a water-based clear. The reason I've done that is that the water-based clears don't yellow off like the solvent-based ones do. So very happy with that. With the roof panels, I've used a 3.6mm specific RV panel. This is through Gunnison's in Australia, who are now called Forest One, I think. It was a bit hard to come by. I had to order it in specially for a timber merchant. I think they were about $60 something a sheet. The only drama I did have is because my sheets are, what are they, 1360 wide or 1370 with the rebate. I've had to buy the standard 6x4 sheets, which are 2100 by 1220, and cut them widthwise, so it's going to take 3 or 4 sheets to sheet it out. I've glued this front section in. The rear one I'm tossing up whether to put that in yet or to wait until I have the firewall type section between the kitchen and the sleeping area. I've glued all those to the spars with Sikaflex, which should be dry now because I did that last night. Yep, she's nice and dry. And I'll just go along and fill in all the gaps with Sikaflex too. Okay, so that's where we're up to. Today, I'm going to put a sheet of 16mm in this section here, so fill that in. The reason I'll do that is I wanted a solid piece behind that I can bolt a fridge box to at the front, which we will build today, I think. Yes, I'm going to build that today. So I wanted something solid here. Once this has got the 3mm composite panel over it, I'll bolt through the panel and attach the fridge box to the drawbar. Fridge box should be about 800 wide. I think it comes to about there either side. And that'll give us some added weight on the drawbar, which we need on this build. So that's where we are at the moment. Quite happy with where it's going. So let's get up to the hardware shop and get the stuff to build this fridge box out of. So this is the stuff here that we're going to be using. It's an aluminium section, and to join it there's these plastic connectors, and when it's clad in the aluminium material it should be quite sturdy. so we'll get the stuff we need and get out of here. Now I just want to run through this click together system that I'm using to make the fridge box out of. I've made the back as such. That will fit on here and bolt against this ply. It'll also, once it's clad, it'll tie into the chassis, and I'll get some more U-bolts and we'll U-bolt it to the drawbar. That's the back. That's the front, and I'm just about to cut the cross members, so I just wanted to go through the cutting of these. Before I do though, the ply that I've used on this is the same as the sides and the floor, so it's 17-18mm. It's glued and screwed along the sides, along the top and along the bottom. Inside it's not as thick as the battens that I'm using, so I've ripped down some of the battens so I can get my proper wall thickness. And because that'll be the head where you sleep, you probably want it quite strong behind there so you don't get any flex on the inner material. When I'm cutting down these things, I just use a drop saw, and I generally tape together 4 or 6 of them at a time. That way you don't get any movement and you can square off the bottoms of all of them. And because you're cutting the whole lot with a drop saw, you get a good clean cut. Once you cut them, I generally tape them up, mark my cut on this and cut to that. Once they're cut, I just clean them up with a flap wheel, and that gets them perfectly. So we'll do that, we'll hammer it home, and I'll show you what the box looks like. Okay, so I've just cut these and I've just cleaned up the ends. As you can see, they're all perfectly the same length. So it's just now undoing the tape. And voila, we have a fridge box. I'll go ahead and I'll bolt this to the bulkhead. Now for the doors on each end of this, all I've got to do is make an identical end, 2 of them, clad it on the external, hinge it to one side, put a lock on it, and put some rubber sealing inside for dust proofing. And we're basically finished. But as I said, the rigidity of this will come when it's clad in that 3mm composite material. So I'll go ahead, I'll bolt this to this, and I'll show you the end result.
You were my best friend, didn't care about the rules, good on the weekends. I'll be in fools, drifting to deep space, so brave and so stupid, just like the movies. I was gonna stay in the fight with you, just thinking we would do this until we couldn't do it. Each and every high, every night with you, you and me so clueless. We were just broken, shattered, singing along to nothing matters. Stray around like nighttime rumors. We were in too deep. And you worn out, sweat
that's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.